Good morning and welcome to the Wednesday, February 11th hearing of the Minnesota House Education Finance Committee. Remote hearings such as this are held in accordance with House Rule 10.01. This rule has been posted online and is linked to in our public meeting notice on the House website. All remote hearings will be recorded and live streamed by House Public Information Services. Members, you have the contents of your virtual packets available to you, and for the public, these same materials have been posted online. Members, if you're looking for all these items in one place, they are attached, to the calendar event that you have received from Ms. Burt. To get on the list to be recognized by the chair, members using the Zoom interface have the ability to raise their hand via the app. Ms. Burt will place your name on the list to be recognized. If a member is on their phone and doesn't have access to the raise your hand feature, please email Ms. Burt and she will put your question in the queue. This is the digital equivalent of getting the attention of the chair or the committee administrator. An email from your House account with the subject line, "Please recognize," is all that is required if you're on your phone. Ms. Sunderland, would you please call the roll?
Chair Dabney.
Present.
Vice Chair Sandsted.
Sandsted present.
Representative Kresha. Representative Kresha?
I think he'll be coming late.
Representative Bennett.
Present.
Representative Daniels. Representative Daniels, I see you here, but I did not hear you.
Uh-oh, my mute's not unmuting. You hear me now?
All right, perfect. All right, Representative Damath.
Present.
Representative Drazkowski.
Present.
Representative Erickson. Representative Erickson. Representative Feist.
Present.
Representative Jordan.
Present.
Representative Marquardt.
Present.
Representative Mueller. Representative Mueller. Representative Richardson.
Present.
Representative Thompson.
Present.
Representative Wolgamott.
Wolgamott, present.
Representative Zhang.
Zhang, present.
Representative Youakim. Representative Youakim. And that is the roll, and we do have a quorum.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sunderland. Representative Zhang, have you had the opportunity to review the minutes from our Wednesday, February 10th meeting? And if so, would you like to move approval of those minutes?
Yes, so moved, Chair.
Thank you, Representative Zhang. Any discussion to the Zhang amendment? Hearing none, all those in favor of the Zhang amendment approving the minutes from our Wednesday, February 10th meeting, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion prevails. Thank you, Representative Zhang. Members, today we will be discussing and laying over two bills that speak to cost drivers in the education finance area and districts' responses to them to manage those costs in their delivery of education services. First up is House File 292. Representative Zhang, it appears to be your day here in education finance. Would you be so kind as to move House File 292 to be before the committee to lay over for possible inclusion or further consideration in a later bill?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Chair. I move House File 202.
Thank you very much. Representative Frazier, welcome to the committee.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Vice Chair, and thank you, committee leads. I won't spend a lot of time because I know this bill has been around a few times and many of you may understand what it's about, but I will just lay out quickly why we're here and then also my interaction with this issue, and then I'll get to our testifier so we can have a bit of discussion. So currently our school districts are limited in the, excuse me?
You're good.
Oh, thank you.
Please continue.
Currently, our school districts are limited in the amount that they are allowed to levy for. If the district needs to levy higher, we have a mechanism known as the referendum revenue program. This mechanism allows the school district to obtain voter approval to increase its revenue beyond the limits set in statute. That levy lasts for a finite number of years, and then a district must go back to the voters to renew that levy. While cities and counties are generally not subject to levy limits and are generally able to impose levies without requiring voter approval, school districts are limited to levy amounts set in statute and must seek voter approval for any levies above that amount. So I present to you today as someone who has dealt with this issue from three perspectives. As a parent, I have been concerned about what my children and their classmates would lose if a referendum levy does not get renewed. As an administrator, I agonize and sympathize over the reality of what it would mean if the referendum renewal campaign did not succeed. How many staffs would need to be cut? How many programs would need to be substantially pared down, which would ultimately impact our students? As a staff attorney, I have been engaged with helping to support referendum renewals around the state. I have heard the stories of educators and parents who express the anxiety that comes along with the uncertainty of referendum renewal campaigns. With that said, I'll provide you with a few highlights of this bill. This bill will allow districts to renew a current levy after input from the local community, so maintaining that voice of local control and local input. The levy will only have to remain, the levy will have to remain at the same per pupil amount. So it can't be an increase, but only remain the same. And I will make an important note here. From 2015 to 2020, the research and data tells us that there were 76 referendum renewals that would meet the criteria as defined by this bill. All 76 of those referendums were renewed by the voters. That's 100%. So we know that communities want these referendums to be renewed. And I think it's important to note that we have school board members that are elected. Community members will have input with this bill. And so you'll still have that critical voice being heard by school board members that are elected by the community that will be making a decision to renew these referendums as when the time comes. With that, Chair, this bill will help provide some budgetary certainty for school districts and the communities they serve. I will yield my time to let testifiers speak. You're muted, Chair.
Somebody's got to do it. Thank you, Representative Frazier. I have three individuals indicated on the agenda to testify regarding House File 292. First up is Mr. John Vito, school board member from Robbinsdale Area Schools. Mr. Vito, please introduce yourself for the record and proceed with your testimony. Welcome.
Thank you, Chair Davney and members of the Education Finance Committee. I am John Vento, Robbinsdale Area School Board member. I have served as a school board member for the past 8 years and just was elected to another term. I want to thank Representative Frazier for introducing this bill. It is really an important piece of legislation for school boards across the state. With House File 292, school boards are not asking to have an increase in levy authority, only to renew operating, and I want to emphasize that, operating levies that were already approved by our voters. The Robbinsdale Area Schools have 2 operating levies that passed in 2014 and 2018, all with well over 60% of the voters' support. We are dependent on our levies. They provide vital services for our students, such as maintaining low class sizes, allowing us to offer a more diverse course offerings, co-curricular activities, and investment, specifically after our 2018, an investment in professional development around the science of reading for our pre-K and 5 staff. In 2014, we estimated that the renewal, doing just our renewal at that time, was, if we had failed, would be the equivalent of losing the staff, the complete staff of 5 elementary schools. These are daily operating costs, not luxuries for school districts. Permitting school boards to renew a referendum at the same level after a public hearing would save thousands of dollars that school districts are required to spend informing the public and conducting the election, again, at no additional cost to the state. Robbinsdale Schools paid over $100,000 in costs in running its campaign in 2018. That includes printing of material and personnel costs. Our community supported our effort by raising an additional $20,000 from a citizen campaign, along with countless volunteer hours. Anytime we ask our community's support for levying, these campaigns cost our district and community the same amounts, whether it's for renewal or an additional add-on or capital campaign. School boards are elected by the same voters who vote for legislators, city councils, county boards, and town boards. Why are school districts the only governmental body that has to pass referendum for operating costs? In our last referendum, we had overwhelming support from our 7 communities, city councils, and mayors. When speaking with these city representatives, I've always asked, how would they feel if they had to go out and ask voters anytime they wanted to increase funding? We are all elected to represent our communities on the same ballot. Why are the votes of school board members receive a lesser value or a second class? I am unaware of any other elected bodies that has these limitations put on them over that same time. HR 29, finally, the public supports this. According to a 2019 Morris Leatherman polling data, 60%, including a majority of Republicans and Democrats, supported school districts having the authority to renew operating levies. House File 292 is a sensible, responsible step to help school districts provide stability for our budgeting process and return local control to school board members to renew voter-approved levies. Thank you very much for the time today, Chair Dabney, and I'll yield back.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vento. Next on the list is Chris Lennox, Superintendent from the Mounds View Public Schools. Superintendent Lennox, welcome to the committee. Please introduce yourself for the record and proceed.
Thank you, Chair Dabney, members of the committee. My name is Chris Lennox. I'm the superintendent of schools for the Mounds View Public School District. And I am here today to testify in support of House File 292. And I want to start with a little bit of data on highlighting that. I'm going to go back a little farther than Representative Frazier, in that specifically over the last 7 years, there have been 104 no increase levy renewals proposed across the state of Minnesota. And all of them, 100%, have passed. Not only have the renewals passed, most have passed by overwhelming majorities, not even being close. I bring that up because, as you know, under current law, school districts are required to hold elections even for no increase levy renewals. But the question becomes, to what end? We have the data. We know the outcomes. 7 years, 104 ballot questions, 100% approval. Now, some might ask, okay, so what's the problem? If those are the results, go ahead, hold your election. Looks like we know what results you'll get. Shouldn't be a problem, right? But as you know, it's not that simple. Elections cost money. And when it comes to school districts, the financial burden of these 104 elections have fallen to taxpayers. So as an example, in Mounds View, for our levy campaign, the cost associated with materials and mailings alone was $65,000. In addition, because of the size of the district, we held over 40 school and community meetings, dedicated over 200 hours of staff time to communication about the levy renewal. And one thing that became crystal clear to us as we were talking with residents was that an election for no increase confused people. Voters believe that if we're asking them to go to the polls, if we were asking them to cast a vote, there had to be something new. There must be an increase here somewhere. Their question was, if we've already approved this, why would we need to go back and vote on it again if nothing's changing? Well, that's a good question, and House File 292 can change that. You see, to date, my answer to our community has been that state statute is requiring us as a school districts to hold these elections, even when nothing's changing. And the cost of that election is being passed along to them, the taxpayers. But I also think it's important for legislators to recognize that while these elections certainly have financial and labor costs, they also have a political cost. Make no mistake that by requiring school districts to hold elections on no increased levies, you're reinforcing a perception that schools are constantly asking for more money. That's not what we're doing. It's especially troubling for those districts who are trying to do the fiscally responsible thing and simply hold the line by renewing a levy at no increase. So in closing, I'd just like you to consider this. As legislators, you've asked us quite appropriately, as educators, to use data, understand the impact our programs are having on student achievement. There are any number of data points and assessments that we used are required to ensure accountability in our schools. Now, you've charged us to respond to that data, to make changes as necessary to improve our schools for our students. And today, I just ask you to do the same. We need your partnership to improve our schools. I implore you, use data, make improvements, because on this issue, the data is compelling. 7 years, 104 ballot questions, 100% approval. I think it's safe to say we have a trend. So today I ask for your support of House File 292. Please give school boards the authority they need to serve their students and communities and provide them with this very important local control. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Superintendent Lennox. Last on the list of people who've registered to testify on House File 292 is Jeff Elstead, Superintendent of the Owatonna Public Schools. Superintendent, welcome to the committee. Please state your name for the record and proceed with your testimony.
Thank you, Chair Davney, members of the committee. I am Jeff Elstead, Superintendent for the Owatonna Public Schools, and I represent the superintendents today from Greater Minnesota, matching my colleagues that have already testified from the metro area. I wanted to add just a few pieces to it. And again, we're a mid-sized district in Greater Minnesota. And much like our members, our colleagues in the Twin Cities, we have the same difficulties in working through passage of already approved operating levy renewals. This past November of 2020, as you have all experienced, we have been going through a pandemic, if you haven't known. And within that pandemic, it made the renewal of our operating levy even more difficult for us. We had to commit about 400 staff hours this fall toward a renewal. In addition, we had $37,000 in costs for election judges and balloting costs, as well as materials to obligatory materials that go out to our taxpayers. Furthermore, we believe that those staff hours equated to somewhere between the range of $100,000 to $160,000 in human resource that we had to allocate for this particular purpose. I want to thank Representative Frazier for bringing this issue back to this for consideration. House File 292 has so much merit, as my colleagues have highlighted. We are locally elected officials. School board members should have the same right as our city and county colleagues to make those decisions. And again, why would we diminish the power that our school board members have as compared to their colleagues in city and county government? We already have systems in place that help us be accountable to our taxpayers, including annual truth and taxation hearings. Furthermore, we are audited annually, that is open for public forum. And lastly is the notification of all renewals that go out to our taxpayers. Community members also have many forums, including public forum at every single school board meeting, with the addition also, and ultimately, the election process that they certainly could be a candidate for a school board position if they felt differently about our current financial situation. And lastly, I would add to that the level of responsibility that's been required during COVID-19 has required school districts to take away precious resources from our school that could have been dedicated to the operations of school districts in challenging times such as this past school year in a better way. Lastly, I would add to you that if we wouldn't have been able to renew this levy in November, and we are one of the 104 that my colleague Superintendent Lennox indicated, we would have lost $4.5 million in funding for our school district. That equates to 35 to 40 classroom teaching positions. We already have classroom sizes of 30 to 32 students, which means where would we go next? Classes of 45 to 50? We would also lose an equivalent number of support staff that are necessary to run school districts. With those pieces, in addition to the testimony that my colleagues have provided this morning, I would urge you to give strong consideration to House File 292 that allows our school board to make those decisions on behalf, and they do know what's best for the students in our communities. Thank you, Chair Dabney.
Thank you, Superintendent Elstead. We do have a couple of questions from members. Representative Bennett, thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you to the bill author and the presenters. And I can see both sides of this issue, and I certainly understand the need for certainty and funding for our schools and their levies going up and down like this. But I do have a question for our bill author, because I also believe the taxpayers deserve transparency and some certainty and control of how their money is being spent as well. So I'm just wondering, for the bill author, is there, I don't see any transparency type components in this bill, like requirements for school boards to notify taxpayers that this is happening. Am I missing that? Or if it's not in there, do you think it should be in there? And what types of transparency items for taxpayers would be the right thing to do here?
Representative Frazier.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, the bill does require the school board to provide notice in an open meeting if they're deciding to make this renewal. So it gives ample opportunity for the community to have that notice, and also for the community to come in and provide input on that to the school board members that they elect.
Representative Bennett.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And maybe I could ask some of our superintendents who are online or school board members to help me understand how that works when there's a notice for an open meeting. Is that posted on the school district site? Is there some kind of email that people, your constituents can sign up for? Or how does that work to be notified so taxpayers can be aware that this is happening and keep their eyes on it? I'm not sure who I'm just throwing that question out.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say Superintendent Lennox, Superintendent Elsted, which one of you wants to take that?
Chair.
Superintendent Lennox.
Yep, thank you, Chair. When we post meetings, we use multiple formats. So we would post that electronically. We would send emails, anyone on our listservs, it would be on our websites. And we always invite people in to our open forums. So every public meeting we have an opportunity for the community to weigh in on any issues the board is considering. In addition, around these types of issues, as I suggested in my testimony, we had more than 40 meetings. We absolutely, it would be, explaining what we're doing and how programs and services are being used. I would offer that the community, our parents, our students have come to expect these services. And by having the election, we're actually having to explain what would go away, and they don't want it to go away. That actually creates a point of tension. So having a conversation with them about what we would keep would be far more appreciated than what we would have to take away should a levy not be successful. But commitment totally to having the conversations.
Representative Bennett.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Superintendent and Representative Frazier as well. And I do feel like there should be stronger notification requirements in here. It just seems the busy public. I find people even come to me saying, "Hey, we never knew this was going on," and so I think we need to do a better job all around as government leaders and schools as well to notify people of what's going on and give them opportunity for input. So I would like to see stronger language in here concerning that. Not sure exactly how that should look, but it's something hopefully we could continue to look at. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Bennett. Representative Erickson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I'm sorry I missed part of the testimony because I was in another meeting, but I'm just wondering, superintendents, do you and your board let the voters know the authority that you've been given since 2013 so that they realize that the state has taken over, part of that levy, at least I would say the base part of it, and that you're asking for additional dollars above that. So do you have that discussion with your board or with your voters so that they understand? There's been action taken over the years that's really been, very beneficial to you.
Superintendent Elsted.
Thank you, Representative Dabney and Representative Erickson for that question. We do have mechanisms in place to inform our voters. I think you're referencing the local optional revenue that was put in place. Yes. So during a couple of times of the year, well, actually 3 times in the year that are carved out of our agenda very specifically. One of them is to adopt the preliminary budget. That is discussed by finance directors with the school board so that they can have consideration. There's always public forum available, and the notification of that agenda item goes out at least a week ahead of time around that. The other opportunity, again, is of course when the board adopts an annual budget, and that's taking the preliminary budget, any changes to that, and adopting the budget. The last opportunity is always in December at Truth and Taxation. We have to lay out the various funding sources, including the local optional revenue that has been beneficial with that, but the additional dollars that are needed on top of that to help satisfy the needs or to make sure that our students have their needs met in our communities.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Chair.
Representative Erickson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, that's all good and well said, but I know how poorly truth and taxation hearings are attended. So do you send out in a newsletter or any other publication to alert voters to this generosity that is across the board in the state for most districts, that they have this benefit? And then my other question would be, is this not kind of a poor economic time with uncertainty to be proposing that we change this law?
Superintendent Elstead.
Thank you. Yes, I would. There are many mechanisms that we could utilize to send out information regarding local optional revenue. All of that information is typically on what we call our CAFRS report, which is our financial report that's available for public viewing. We do communicate regularly with our community around financial situations coming up. We also communicate very regularly with other media. We use podcasts, we use all sorts of other mechanisms to make sure we're informing our public and being transparent. This is their education system. As a superintendent, I'm just lucky enough to get to help make some of those decisions. In regard to your second question about the challenging times, what I would urge you to consider is that the challenging time has hit school districts, and in this time, knowing that we're leaning on our community again for that approval, would have put us in a lurch for not only are we in challenging times as far as how we deliver education, but without the needed funding to support our classrooms, puts us in a very bad predicament about how we could deliver what's expected within not only the Department of Education standards, but also what our community has come to expect.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Representative Erickson.
Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Youakim.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sorry for being late today. I just want to thank Representative Frazier for bringing this bill forward. I think it's really important that we do what we can and give the tools to the school district that they need to make sure there's stability and funding, but also the tools that other other elected bodies have. Our city councils have the ability to raise levy, and they've been responsible about it. Truth and taxation meetings do help, although we would love to have more citizens attend them. But one thing, and I think maybe Representative Erickson probably already knows this because it's in the world's best workforce, but school boards are actually required to have citizen finance advisory committees as well. In fact, I've had friends that have served on them and found them very useful, and I would encourage folks to sign on to Representative Marquardt's bill that actually requires cities to have those as well. So there's a lot of different avenues out there to make sure that our citizens are well informed. And I think what we go down to the heart of the matter is that we really do want our schools to have stability and funding so that they can plan and use taxpayer money efficiently.
Thank you, Representative Youakim. And for those following along at home, Representative Youakim is chair of the Property Tax Committee in the House, so brings a depth of insight there. I also know, Representative Youakim, that the Minneapolis Public Schools actually tracks and reports out its use of operating levy revenue separate from, so highlighting it from the rest of its budgetary work so that voters here can be more attuned to the use of those dollars. So thank you. Our last questioner, Representative Drazkowski.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Two questions, one for the superintendent, so one for the author. So to the superintendent, I think they were all superintendents, weren't they, Mr. Chair?
Yes, they were. Well, there was one school board member as well, so.
Okay, we'll take them too.
Okay.
So the question is, and I hear the appeal of, additional costs because we've got these additional elections, and certainly that's something that is, I think, probably concerning to everybody, certainly is to me. But the question is, to what extent have you, and if you could tell me why you can't coincide perfectly the election with the normal general election or the city and county elections on the off year, you would ostensibly have zero cost. It would just be an item on the ballot.
Who would like to take that of our panelists?
I'll take it on if that's okay, Chair Dabney.
Superintendent Elstead, thank you.
Thank you, Representative Drazkowski. It's a great question. One of the things is because the current operating levies that we have in place are not always in alignment, we would have to find a way to align and either move those taxes and those renewals to an earlier date to align with that. And certainly that takes away the election costs. I do agree, though, that it still doesn't solve the issue of with the only opportunity on a ballot for taxpayers to say no, because they don't have those same opportunities with other governmental agencies. It still leads us to this spot where we have to spend many, many hours out trying to remind people about how important those funds are, funds that, by the way, they've already approved. And so I think it certainly would relieve us of some election costs, but I don't believe it would take away the chance that really needed funding for school districts would not be available.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, if I could follow up on that.
Certainly, Representative Drazkowski.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the question for Mr. Elstead would be, is there anything limiting you, Mr. Elstead, from conducting that election earlier than you traditionally would in order to accommodate those November natural election dates?
Superintendent Elstead.
I don't believe there's anything limiting other than that when we've communicated so far that it's a 7, 5, 10-year sort of operating levy. If the expectation of the voters currently is that we were going to be coming out to ask them again, we would have to re-communicate about what that means as far as taxes that might be obviously remaining or sometimes in cases being lower because we've renewed it. But it would require additional communication to change the year in which we would be asking for additional or that renewal of the operating levy.
Representative Drazkowski.
Thank you, Mr. Elstead. Question for the author and also Chair Youakim, and that is, has this been to property taxes? And if not, why not?
Chair Youakim, I'll throw that one to you first.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will talk to nonpartisan staff, but from my understanding, it doesn't need to. It belongs in, I think, it's been through state and local government already or not?
Does it still need to go through state and local government? I'm not certain. The motion before us, the Zhang motion, is to lay over for possible inclusion in a future bill.
Mr. Chair, if I could,
Representative Drazkowski.
Having been chair of the Property Tax Committee myself in the past, and maybe Chair Marquardt wants to chime in as well, but I have attempted to bring some of these to the Property Tax Committee when I was chair, and the hard part was actually knowing they were here in education. Certainly it's an area that interfaces between the two, and bills that affect the two of them should go to both committees if we're going to be intellectually and procedurally honest.
Well, we can certainly take that under advisement, Representative Drazkowski. Thank you for raising the issue. Any further questions from you, sir? With that, Representative Frazier, any closing comments?
Thank you, Chair. Just to say, I'll reiterate what has already been said by our superintendent and our board member. Thank you all for being here to present and answer questions. But we are in very trying times. I think this is something that is needed right now, considering the times that we're in. We need to have more certainty around the finances for our school districts and our communities that they serve. And I think this bill will help us get there. So I urge you all to support as we move forward.
Thank you very much, Representative Frazier. And with that, Representative Zhang renews his motion that House File 292 be laid over for possible inclusion or for further consideration at a later date. Have a good rest of your day, Representative Frazier. Thank you for joining us. Chair Youakim, would you like to make a motion to move House File 683 to be before the committee to lay over for possible inclusion or for further consideration at a later date?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'd like to move House File 683 forward before the Education Finance Committee to be laid over for possible inclusion in a bill on a future date.
Thank you very much, Chair Youakim. Representative Olson, welcome to the committee. Please proceed with introducing House File 683.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair and committee members. Glad to be here with all of you. So what you have in front of you is House File 683, and I'm here in support of the Duluth schools in an effort to help seek a formula adjustment and a one-time payment to correct an artificially low state special education revenue base from 2016. The district had been struggling with this issue ever since. The subject of the Duluth Special Education Challenge is probably nothing new to returning members of this committee. So charter school tuition billing changes during the fiscal year of 2016 base year resulted in the Duluth Public Schools losing access to special education funding. Duluth has been an outlier and has lost out on just over $1 million per year in the past 5 fiscal years since the change to the new base calculations. Special education reductions in staff and critical programming have occurred in the district to deal with this funding issue. Our bill seeks to remedy the situation with a permanent increase in ISD 709's base revenue of $500,000 and a one-time payment of $1 million to make up for prior year lost revenue to replenish fund balance reserves. With me today is the new superintendent, John Magus, and the district's chief financial officer, Catherine Erickson, who in the midst of a very challenging year are continuing to work to right this wrong for Duluth. They have prepared testimony to describe the current situation in more detail and are here to answer your questions. And with that, I'll turn it over to my testifiers.
Thank you very much, Representative Olson. Superintendent Magus, welcome to the committee. Please state your name for the record and proceed with your testimony.
Thank you. My name is John Magus, and I am Superintendent of Public Schools in Duluth.
Please proceed.
Sure. Thank you very much. Really appreciate the opportunity to share. Chair Davney, members and staff, my name is John Magus, Superintendent of Duluth Public Schools, ISD 709, and I'm here to speak in favor of House File 683. And I joined the Duluth Public Schools in July, and this is my first time as a superintendent, although I've served in other capacities in other areas. And it's also my first time in front of this committee. This special education funding issue was something that was brought to my attention before I even started here. It was one of the first things that was discussed with me as we were coming into the district. And I really must confess that this year has been a very different year. It's not what any of us would have thought it would be. And as well as you know very well, 2020 and now 21, our schools have faced unthinkable challenges. And I really want to thank you for all your work as we navigate this pandemic together. The subject of Duluth's special education challenges is nothing new to this committee. My predecessor, Superintendent Bill Gronseth, along with Chief Financial Officer Kathy Erickson, have testified in the subject to this committee and have had the opportunity to meet with many of you individually to explain our unique funding challenge. Chair Davney, we thank you for including some relief for the Duluth Public Schools in your 2019 Omnibus Education Bill. The 2019 special session goals included a very limited scope, and unfortunately, that relief did not make the final cut, and that's why we're here again to ask you for your help. The Duluth Public Schools continues to seek a formula adjustment and a one-time payment to correct an artificially low state special education revenue based on House File 683. Charter school tuition billing changes during the fiscal year 2016 base year resulted in Duluth Public Schools losing access to critical special education funding. While we applaud the legislature for continuing to address the special education funding challenges felt all over the state, Duluth Public Schools has been identified as an outlier by the Department of Education by this committee for the past 2 years due to this artificially low base year. We've estimated that the base year loss has resulted in the district losing out on just over $1 million in the past 5 fiscal years since the change to the new base calculations. Special education reductions in staff and critical programming have occurred in the district to deal with this funding issue. To remedy the solution, with the support of our legislative delegation, we propose HF 683, which includes a permanent increase in ISD 709 base revenue of $500,000 and a one-time payment of $1 million to make up for that lost revenue to replenish our fund balance reserves. Chair Davnie, this is the exact language that you were so kind to include in your 2019 Omnibus Education Bill. The funding loss Duluth Public Schools has experienced has been significant over these past 5 years, but we want to be sensitive to the state's limited resources, and we feel that this would go a long way to help our district continue to strive for fiscal sustainability. I would now like to introduce Chief Financial Officer for the Duluth Public Schools, Kathy Erickson, who can speak more about the special education reimbursement and cross-subsidy issue facing our district and other districts around the state.
Thank you, Superintendent Magus. Ms. Erickson, welcome to the committee. Good to see you. Please introduce yourself for the record and proceed.
Thank you, Chair Davnie and members of the committee. My name is Kathy Erickson, and I have been the Chief Financial Officer at Duluth Public Schools since October of 2018. In addition to that, I was honored to serve on the Minnesota Department of Education's School Finance Working Group over the past year and a half and was able to participate in the committee's subcommittee on special education. As Superintendent Magus has shared with you, House File 683 addresses a funding anomaly that occurred back in 2016. It has continued to impact our district ever since, and the base education funding, which was a change in general education components of the special education, state special education funding, gave us an artificially low base. And each year, as a floor and a ceiling were created, our years were lower than what they could have been had we not had an unusual tuition adjustment due to a charter school billing in 2016. So we've been blocked at that ceiling for the past 4 years and unable to grow in our expenditures as our expenditures have grown on the revenue side because of that ceiling. We are asking for continued support to adjust the charter school tuition billing, and as recommendations from the School Finance Working Group have indicated, that would help all districts who have charter school tuition billing issues that relate directly to the net revenue for a school district for special education funding. This past year in fiscal year 20 and in fiscal year 21 and going beyond, there have been some changes in our special education state funding. And we are still, even with the adjustment, nearing that ceiling again for fiscal year 20 because we saw some of our tuition billing costs increase, which then lowers our net revenue. We also want to thank you all as committee members and Chair Davnie for the continued work and focus on special education funding. The special education cross subsidy, which is that calculated general education funding that covers the difference between what a district receives in special education funding and regular general education revenue, and the state special education calculation. For Duluth Public Schools in fiscal year 19, our gross cross subsidy was a little over $9 million. The state then used a cross subsidy aid calculation, which in fiscal year 20 was 2.6%. And in this year, fiscal year 21, we're seeing 6.43% as a aid, which is very welcome funding. But thinking about the loss of revenue that we have, and for districts being challenged by having budget reductions, meaning that also special education is considered, that cross-subsidy opportunity may go down as our expenditures may be changing as well. House File 683 recognizes our loss. It provides some recognition that we could have a base adjustment increase should any changes or continued adjustments for special education funding at the state level move forward. And then also recognizes that even though we've lost over $1 million per year for the last 5 years due to that base amount, this one-time payment could help offset some of the ongoing challenges we have as a district. Thank you so much for the opportunity to visit with you today about this, and we would be open to answering any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Erickson. Members, questions to either of the testifiers or to the author? All right, Representative Olson, would you like to, any closing comments? My apologies.
No, I apologize. Mr. Chair, just wanted to say thank you to you and the committee for hearing the bill, and thank you for your support.
Thank you. With that, Representative Youakim renews her motion that House File 683 be laid over for possible inclusion or for further consideration at a later date. Superintendent, thank you for joining us today. Ms. Erickson, of course, thank you. Good to see you again. Representative Olson, thank you for presenting the bill today. Members, with that, I anticipate we have a busy week ahead of us. We will see you. Wait a second. Representative Krisha? Is Representative Krisha able to join us today? I know he was involved in some other work. I was wanting to check in. Representative Krisha, we were wanting to check in on the Zwilling family and wish them good luck with the world's largest ice carousel.
I do see that Representative Krisha is on the call.
He must be distracted with something else, unfortunately. But an exciting event this weekend in the Little Falls area. But hopefully Tuesday we can get an update. It's a perfect Minnesota weekend for the world's largest ice carousel. So members, we will see you all back on Tuesday. Thank you for your work this week. We're anticipating a busy week next week as we lean further into these issues. Be well. We are adjourned.